You know, Christmas is my favorite time of the year, and here at Ag Life, we always try to bring an inspirational story. I'm going to introduce you to a guy, Larry Kester. He inspired me. I know he's going to inspire you. Well, Larry, it's an honor to be set with a three-time national champion. Tell me about all the awards that you've won.
Well, we won 3 championships, but it took me 15 years to win my first one. We've been very lucky to get in a sport where, you know, a lot of the farm-type people, you know, agriculture and trucking industry, and just motorheads in general. You know, guys that race, guys that drag race. We're kind of like drag racing in the dirt. You know, the biggest honor is when you do win a championship.
We're going to go back to July 5th, 1986, a day in your life that really changed things for you.
Well, you know, it was a day like any other day. Ashley was 3 and Adam was 5 months old. He was just a tiny little baby, and so I'm mowing around on my dad's tractor. He had a 5000 Ford tractor, which a lot of the farmers would know about. Is a pretty good sized tractor with a chopper on the back, a loader on the front, and I'd been on this thing my whole life, and had mowed around here, and I was getting close to being done, and I came up here. I loaded up some little drywall pieces in the loader bucket, and I told my wife, I said, "You get ready, we're going to this party. And I'm gonna take the tractor back to my dad's, and when I get back, we'll go to the party." And so, you know, I don't know. I don't remember anything after that, but I went down that driveway, and our driveway's like 1,000 foot long, and there's a real steep bank. At that time, it was real steep, and my dad had always told me, "Don't you get on that bank." So I didn't get on the bank, but I must have missed a place up in the field, and got up in the field with that tractor with a loader bucket up in the air. And you know, everybody that drives a tractor knows that you don't run around with that loader bucket up in the air, but it was full of drywall. And so somewhere I must have got too close to the bank, and the bank broke away and the tractor fell upside down. And when it did, it pinned me underneath it. And so the tractor's laying there, and the neighbor girl saw it happen, and she got a hold of my parents and my brothers, and they all came down, and this, by then the gas was running out of it, and when they was pulling on it, evidently the battery came out of the box and sparked and ignited all the gas. So now it's on fire. So they're all down there, and they finally jerked the tractor enough to get me out from underneath it, but I'd already quit breathing, and my brother ended up getting me back to life, and then they called a life flight and flew me to Evansville.
So you spent 4 months in Indianapolis in a hospital,
Yeah.
over 4 months,
Yeah.
July 5th, and you're going to be released October 31st. But you come home to this wonderful homecoming.
The whole town was out. I mean,
It's like a parade.
It was like there was yellow ribbons on every tree, every telephone pole coming into St. Wendell for 3 miles. Every front yard had a sign with my name and "Welcome home, Larry."
And then when you get back home, I mean, that was uplifting, but then you're settled back into reality, the accident of that. And then there's a special little girl that says some words to you that's kind of the inspiration of the story to me.
Well,
the words that were said.
You know, the funny thing about that, Scott, is I was sitting right here, but on the floor. You know, and I had a burn suit on because I had burnt 42% of my body, and I was depressed. I'm sitting right here on the floor, and Ashley is in the back bedroom, which is down the hallway, and she's hollering for me, you know, "Daddy, Daddy, you got to come here." And I'm thinking. And I tried to put myself in my chair, and I wasn't strong enough. I was 136 pounds maybe at that time, and I could not pick myself and put myself in a chair. So what I still do is I knuckled and butt and knuckled and butt, knuckled and butt back through this and down the hallway and in her room. And when I get in her room, I'm crying because I'm so upset with myself. And here's a little 3-year-old baby. She looks at me and she's got tears in her eyes, and she walks across the room and she goes, puts her arm around my neck and she goes, "Don't cry, Daddy. I love you, eat without your legs." And I'm like,
oh my.
I'm like,
My. Those words changed everything, though,
well,
didn't they?
you know, she was, all the people that came here was telling me, "Oh, we're so sorry." But nobody told me what that baby told me, is that I love you just the way you are.
Yeah. But she took you from your lowest point to where you are today.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, I never look back.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a break. We'll come back. We want to look at your business. I got to see some of these tractors that I've read about. I want to see them in person. You show me the business, and we'll continue with the Larry Kester story when we come back right after this. Hey, Scott.
Yeah. You remember I was telling you about them national championships? Whoa. These are my little babies. Yeah, this is the one I've been driving. Well, it's my 3rd year on this tractor. We've had quite a few tractors over the years, but this one here we've got designed with the brakes. I'll show you how them brakes work. Okay? We get my old body up in here.
Now they give these things away. They're free, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you these brakes here. See, I strap my legs in like this.
Right.
And then so that we pull up. Where most people push on the brakes, I pull my stumps up, and then everyone has a hand throttle, so that the legs are strapped in. Of course, we all have 5-point harnesses, so it's like a dragster. But this throttle works right here, so that you're pushing the throttle forward. But when they take off, the front end gets in the air, because the object of the game is to get down to 320 feet, which is the new, used to be 300 feet, now it's 320. But these things are so short, and these engines my son builds are 3,000 horsepower.
3,000.
So the back tires churn about 150, 160 mile an hour. So when that front end's up in the air and this thing's dancing around, you have to drive them with the brakes. So if it's drifting left, you have to pull up on the right brake, and if it's drifting right, you pull up on left for sure.
Your story is called The Long Road Home, and
it is.
Where can people find that?
You can find it on our Facebook, YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Well, a guy that started out on a farm, chickens, I think, and horses, pigs, and all that. A guy that got a scholarship to play
baseball
at Florida.
Yeah.
A guy that has a tragic accident who doesn't know if he's going to survive that. How do you want people to remember you?
I was watching George H.W. Bush's funeral today, and he was all about family, and he was all about getting things done and having fun. And I just, I want to be that guy. I'm just tickled to be able to be doing this with my family.
Well, this was our Christmas show, and I feel like you give me a Christmas gift I can't put measure on. So,
well,
Merry Christmas to you, and thanks for being with us.
Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Scott.
Let's wish the people out there Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas from the Kester family and Scott, and God bless you all, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Be back with more Ag Life right after this.
Welcome back to Ag Life. My name is Camille Lambert, and today we are cooking. Finally, I'm back with Amanda Hardy. It's been a while since we've cooked, but today we have a special guest. Who do we have with us, Amanda?
Yes, we have Rondine Rollins. She is our SNAP assistant, our Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program, and she's here to show us one of her recipes.
So I had never seen this calendar before, and it is specifically for low-income families, correct?
Well, yes, I use it for my low-income families when I'm teaching lessons. Some of us might be doing cooking through the calendar, and then we use those recipes as we do those cooking through the calendars, and they're easy and delicious.
And low cost.
Yes.
So we're cooking a breakfast casserole, breakfast pizza.
Yes.
Everybody likes pizza, right?
And everybody likes
Absolutely.
breakfast.
Yes.
Absolutely, and it's easy and delicious.
So I guess we can go ahead and get started. What goes first?
Well, we want to do the rolls, the crescent rolls.
Okay, I'm gonna let you
What
do
you're
it.
gonna do is it says
I'll do it my
that-
country
It
way.
says that you just press it with a, and it always scares me when I do
I know it does.
It pops. So I press it with a knife,
Yes.
and then
There it
pops
goes.
open.
Or you can do
and then you just
like that.
you just twist it.
I guess you might get germs on the counter if
Yes,
you did it that
that's
way.
true.
Yes, we need to spray that.
Okay.
I'll spray that for you.
All right.
And you're using 2 cans of these.
What I usually do
Just
is,
making a.
I don't know if you guys do it this way, but I usually
you
like
one.
lay it and start unrolling.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Let's see.
So what you want to do is, once you get
Spread it out a little.
spread it out, and then you also want to close the
gaps.
The gaps.
The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to start layering. So
It's a
if you
great
wanna
idea.
Spread that on there,
Sure.
Camille.
Okay.
You want to make sure it gets all over too.
Oh yes. Okay. So I'm gonna spread that out.
Looks really good. And then if you want to add a few of these, you can place these just to give it
I
some
love
color.
peppers. I don't know about you all,
Yes,
but
Absolutely.
this looks
Put it all in there.
okay.
Yeah, you're good. And then if you want to spread some of those mushrooms, and then we have
Yes.
tomatoes.
Perfect. I love the recipes that you don't necessarily have to measure everything out perfectly.
So we're going to put the eggs in there. So we take the flat side of your butter knife and just hit it a couple times, and then just let it
Look
go
at
out.
that. Yeah.
And we're going to crack, because the recipe actually calls for 4 eggs, but we're actually just going to go on and use 6. So now that we've got the eggs in, ready to go, we need to scramble them. So when we scramble them, we just take a fork and just use your wrist with the motion.
I love it. So Rondine, tell me a little bit about the SNAP program.
Well, they're required to do 7 lessons, and those 7 lessons are Know Your Limits, My Plate, Eating Breakfast, Eating on a Budget, Meal Planning, and Protein.
Protein.
Yeah.
Okay. So where can people find out information about the SNAP program?
Well, they can call our office.
Great.
It's 270-826-8387.
You heard it. Now, the last thing of this recipe, and my favorite thing, is the cheese. And if you are anything like my husband, he always wants to put extra cheese on. Okay.
Looks great.
So now that we've got everything ready, we are ready to put it in the oven. And I love this because it breaks it all down for us. So we preheated the oven to 375, and we are going to bake for 20 minutes or until it's lightly browned. And I love how the crescent rolls almost look like a pizza. You're right.
They do. They brown up really well and
Yeah.
just make a great crust.
All right, let's all dig in. I'm ready to try this breakfast pizza. And since it's a pizza, we don't even have to use a fork.
That's right.
So, you gonna grab you a piece?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
Delicious.
that's good. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Ag Life.
You know, it's that time of year when farmers are making huge decisions, planning for 2019. Here at Ag Resource Management, they're going to partner with you to help you make those decisions a lot easier. Come along with us. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
I'm great, Scott. How are you?
Always good to see you. 'Tis the season, Matt. We're wrapping up the year.
Yes, right. Farmers completed harvest right now, and now they're getting prices for next year's crop, getting seed, fertilizer, trying to get a plan for next year, what they want to plant in each field. So, you know, it is the season.
Big decision to be made in 2019 for the farmers. I'm honing in on speed, solutions, information. Let's talk about that.
That's right. ARM specializes in providing solutions for the farmers. We use the farmers' information, so why don't we step into the conference room and we'll talk about it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Matt, tell me, how are you going to help me navigate as a farmer through 2019?
Sure, Scott. You're going to bring me the information for Scott Mason Farms, let's say. And your information is going to be your financial statement, your crop insurance records, your APH history, and your crop prices for next year. And you're going to get those from your distributor, and then you're going to bring them to me. We're going to sit down and we're going to develop a customized solution for Scott Mason Farms.
And Matt, I imagine you probably also will help me find the best solution when I'm talking about different types of crops, what might work best for it.
Absolutely. Our analysis system separates the crop out per crop. So we can budget line item by line item. We can look at, is corn more profitable this year than beans, or is beans more profitable than corn?
And I know speed has to be hugely important for farmers nowadays, Matt.
That's right, Scott. We specialize in getting a decision made very quickly based on your information. Especially when it comes into the spring planting season, we want Scott Mason to be on the tractor planting corn or planting the crop instead of waiting on ARM or the financial institution to make a decision.
And that's probably where they want to be.
And plus, the quicker they get the crop planted, earlier the better.
So Matt, tell me how you use my information.
Right, Scott. When you bring your information in, I put it into our analysis program, and what it prints out, it summarizes your yield history for your farm, the projected income that you're going to make for 2019, what we're going to use the loan funds for per line item, how much insurance coverage level that you have with your crop insurance, and then a budget per crop per line item.
So you're just going to steer the waters for me for 2019?
That's right. It puts it in a nice, consistent manner to where you can take that to actually back to your financial institution for your equipment needs and your real estate needs, or you can take it to your distributor and say, okay, this is my budget, this is what I have to work with.
That's awesome. It's good stuff. So Matt, actually one bad year can affect a lifetime of work for a farmer.
That's right, Scott, and that's where crop insurance is very important. We offer a full line of crop insurance products with several AIPs throughout the industry, and what that does is that helps the farmer mitigate risk.
All right, tell the folks where they can find you.
Sure, we're located here at Hobstad, Indiana at the old Germantown Plaza right across from the Posey County Co-op.
All right, and on Facebook or your website?
Yeah, websites, www.armland.com.
All right, and it is the season, right?
It is the season. Thanks for stopping by, Scott.
All right, always good to see you, Matt.